baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
I like that hoodie.
Free. Golf outing like 5 years ago. Second time to ever wear it. Swear to God.
Ready to rock and roll?
I like that.
Thanks, man.
Is
Yeah,
there...
it's a nice one.
It would help if I was ready.
Well, sometimes.
Would help.
You better get out of here, honky.
Definitely aired up.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin.
Is November 18th. What's up, guys?
Go.
What's up?
Not much. What's going on?
Not much, man.
Not much.
Just turned on the NBA draft. Actually, Anthony Edwards just announced it. First pick in the NBA draft. There
Yeah,
you
they
go. That's all we got to talk about.
Yeah, they predicted.
Man.
What you drinking there, Kevin?
Your volume. Hey, Richard, your volume seems low to me.
Is it low?
Here.
Is that better?
That's so much better.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Good deal. What are you drinking there, Kevin?
I got some Natty Ice today.
Okay.
Take me back to my.
Dude.
I told us to try these Saturdays.
I would have
bro, y'all need money?
20 beers and not get
Saturdays,
drunk.
right? Hey, we don't live out our means, bro. We don't live out our means, bro. So hey, Amy's friend suggested that we try these Saturdays. So it's strawberry lemonade / beer, right? And like she swore by them, right? So I was like, all right, Amy, I'll buy you some. They're actually decent, but the bad part about it is, come in a 30-pack for like $10, and you got 30 beers. Like they're in my beer fridge, so the type of person to waste beer, so I'll just drink it.
You'll drink all 30 and not feel it too.
I'll just be peeing all night.
Man, you
might as well drink water.
Drinking the tears of Trump supporters.
Oh, yeah. Probably a lot of natty ice bought this week, bro. If we go on a shutdown, it's gonna be even more.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what though, man. I feel like all that stuff has calmed down a little bit, dude. Like I ain't heard.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna bring it up today.
Popping up.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Blake.
Go ahead, Blake. You got Snapper. Okay. No, I was gonna bring it up where it's just funny how like it's over, like we're done with it. Like I mean, it's still lingering. I'm sure there's some people still stressing out about it or whatever, but like for the most part, it's just like, okay, next. Next, right. You just move on. We make things so big, and look, I mean, when you're talking about the president, it is a pretty big change, so it's understandable, but still, it's just I feel better.
Well, I mean, isn't that the process? I mean, they call it the process of grieving, but it's really a process in general of acceptance, right? The first thing you do is deny, and then you fight and argue and deny, before acceptance happens. Yeah. So I think it's just natural. It's a natural process that people had to go through before they just okay.
Yeah.
Yep. What are the Golden State Warriors doing, Blake? I see you looking up there.
No, I don't know these college.
They're on the clock. They got 6 minutes.
Golden State's got the second pick.
They're waiting for the call from. They're waiting for the call from the doctor.
Oh, from Klay. I know. Klay Thompson got hurt, dude.
Yeah. ESPN is trying to not play it up as much, but then you hear one person say it's not good, and it's like, well, what does not good mean? Does that mean?
Yeah.
Because if he's only gonna miss half the season, okay, it sucks, but it's like if he'll be back in time to play the second half of the season, then that is what it is. But
I mean, obviously that second half is the most important, but
right.
Then again, with him missing all of last year, like you just don't want to hear knee injury from a player like Klay Thompson, and it's not like he's only been in the year for a couple years either. I mean, there's something to this too, because I mean, Oladipo's had major knee problems. Klay Thompson's had major knee problems. Gordon Hayward had major knee problems. This is, it's getting pretty common where, a lot of these players' knees just, didn't Paul George, well, I guess he basically,
well, his was like a really bad, he broke something, didn't he?
Yeah, I think a break's better than a torn ACL or something. But
yeah.
And then Kevin Durant with his Achilles. I mean,
use their legs a lot, man.
Yeah, you gotta have leg day, bro.
Well, I'm sure they do.
And yoga.
And yeah. And they ice well and all that. So I almost wonder if it's from too much playing. Because sports, we've talked about this before, where sports has become so individual, just like my daughter, who all she does is swim because it's all the time she has if she wants to be good at a sport, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and just think these guys have been playing since you're like your daughter's age, right? So
Yep.
and they're tall. The bones wear different because they're tall, right? I don't think this is good because when everybody started tweeting, like they said, LeBron tweeted, get well and stuff like that. I don't think it's ever good when other players start tweeting about it.
Yeah, ESPN had a little ticker across the screen of like LeBron and Donovan Mitchell and like a bunch of other players posting about it. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's not
Stop
good.
at the leg too.
Yeah. But meanwhile, they're like, thank God we don't have to worry about the Warriors this year. You know? They're like on their burner tweet.
They still got Wiggins though.
Okay. I mean, you need Clay. Like you're not getting past the Lakers this year, or if the Nets pull off this deal with James Harden, which I don't know if that's going to happen. I just it's for sure going to be either the Nets or Lakers, maybe Clippers. I know Drew Holiday went to Milwaukee, but for some reason I just don't believe in them. You know, I just don't see them as a championship team for whatever reason. So I was going to ask you guys this. Hey, it's NBA draft day, so we're going to talk sports so y'all can get through this. But I don't know why the Pacers aren't going after Gordon Hayward.
I think that something's in the works. They pushed back Hayward's whatever thing until Thursday, right? Don't be surprised if the Pacers get a pick and Hayward and trade something. And Turner, and this is the best case scenario for the Pacers is to get that 14th pick from the Celtics, Hayward, and deal Turner and McDermott or something. That's the best case scenario. Don't be surprised if that's not what's happening.
And keep Vic. I want to make sure we keep Vic, and then you've got Vic, Hayward, Brogdon, and Turner and Sabonis. I mean, come on. Now we're talking. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good move, especially if Vic comes back like he was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's Victor Oladipo for those that don't know.
They'll be the typical Pacer fun team to watch, but that's
yeah,
really all they'll be.
But they have a white guy on their team, so it's not going to work
fun
out.
Team, they got two white guys as starters.
Two. Oh yeah, they got some bonus too. Yeah. They didn't pick up JJ Redick.
Oh, it's
Jared
done.
just said the bombs have begun. But yeah, that's what I'm waiting for is about the 10th pick to see if something switches with the Pacers and the Celtics before Boston has to make that pick.
Right.
Don't be surprised.
Here's Golden State's pick right here. Golden State picks James Wiseman or whatever his name is. Is that his name? Wiseman?
Yeah, the center.
Yeah, he came. Was he played at
Memphis.
Duke?
Memphis.
Oh, Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's legit.
That's the thing. That's the thing that also is kind of sucks about this is the last time everybody saw normal people saw these players play was a year ago. We missed the whole NCAA season. So a lot happens in a year. Players develop a lot in the year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you're making a guess.
Well, especially if they've been able to train like a full-time athlete for that year instead of having to. I guess if I guess he's left. He's already left school, so he doesn't have to do school, right? So, I guess as soon as these guys clear for the NBA draft, they probably become professionals. But still, you get a year for them to develop your body and all that. So it's going to be an interesting season, man.
I think my big question about I always thought that the Warriors should have traded their pick for somebody like Wiggins or for, I think they were talking about somebody from Chicago. Simply because it's
Zach LaVine?
I don't remember who.
Is he in Chicago still?
Oh, it wasn't LaVine.
It was
Wendell Carter Jr.
Yeah, it was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Only because I don't know. I know they're not old, but how many more years do Clay and Stephen have? I mean,
not much.
I mean, 3 or 4 years. I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I think if they're going to hit, like, I think I know what you're getting at. Like, why didn't you guys go after a Paul George or something, and get rid of all these picks and and really land another
they
superstar?
Really needed a center. I mean, because if you can get a good center that you can have a post, and then you have Clay and Steph out there, but you need to double that center. You're pretty much I mean, it's ridiculous at that point in time, that team is, and that's really why they always work so well, especially when they had KD, because it's like, okay, well, who's going to score 60 on us tonight?
Right.
You just kind of had to try to guess, and you really need someone down there to complement Draymond, because he's, I think
he can't defend like Joel Embiid. I mean, he can, but you need a bigger guy.
He's a well enough. Kind of, and as far as that's concerned, I mean, he's a really good player, but in terms of what you need there, he's just kind of, well enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if that's why they just drafted this James Wiseman guy, because he's a big guy.
I mean, they could have did this, but they still could have traded, still had a top 8 pick.
Yeah, because they were
still
talking
picked
about
another big man.
They were talking about trading somebody and still getting the 4th pick. Somehow
to Chicago. Yeah, that was the one that I sent you.
Yeah, yep.
But I'm kind of like you though. Like, when do you start? But they are though. That's what's great about this pick. I was getting ready to say, like, when do you start picking the next crop? Of those young guys.
They are. Yeah.
So okay, so let's do this. Like, how can you become a small market and compete with a team like the Lakers, who just always end up getting superstars, right? Like, they've got to be coming up with a way or a system to where it's like, okay, them like all grabbing all the best players in the league and teaming up, like, that's eventually going to backfire on the organization. You would think, right? Like, I mean, or does that just happen? Because the Lakers kind of had a pretty big gap there.
They did.
Where they didn't. Yeah, the Knicks have been there forever. Boston's getting there now for a while. So it's like, that's probably gotta be the hardest thing, I guess, in sports in general, is just staying on top.
Yeah, I mean San Antonio is going through that too. I mean, I think like you just said, you got to pick and rebuild, and I have to say a lot of it is a game of Uno, man. It's just luck. Who draws the wild cards. Yeah, I think that who gets that 4th round pick that out of nowhere is just incredible.
Right. So like, with that said, real quick, if I'm Houston, I got to be sitting there just thinking, like, I've got 2 guys I can get a solid 4 or 5 good young players that in 2 or 3 years could be the Kevin Durant, LeBron, James Harden, and Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? That just got together, that luckily got together, or the Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, the Pacers got to be doing that too. Like, they got to land that. I don't know. LaMelo Ball just went to the Hornets.
That's not
the big baller brands of Jordan.
He's probably the most prepared person. They were talking about as far as making the transition to the NBA, playing over. Where did he play? Was it? I don't remember where he played. I want to say
Europe or wherever.
Yeah.
Like Israel,
Australia.
Yeah, okay.
Australia.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's just he's already been playing with bigger guys, whereas these guys
just like Luka.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that, I think, because it's weird because these guys that come over from Europe out of nowhere are just really good players. Like, and they're like it's I mean, I don't know, was
grown men since they were like 12.
Did Dirk Nowitzki come from Europe too?
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
Yeah. So
and like Steve Nash. I mean, there's all types of players that do, but if you're an like incredible NBA or a high school player, I still think it's hard to like go overseas, like straight out of high school. Like, I think you probably would want to go to maybe some college just for I don't know. I just can't imagine just literally going overseas, leaving your family and everything, right out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So there's a little bit of that to where I'm sure some kids would rather just do the college route and learn or, and develop their game. But I can only imagine playing with grown men and doing it full time and not having to go to class and not having all the distractions of college life. I would think it'd be very beneficial.
Well, how much do they get paid? I mean, they're not being paid NBA, but they got to be getting at least $1 or $2 million, right? I mean, so right out the gate, you're getting $1 or $2 million instead of having to go to school and have to, have the NCAA dick with your money, and
guess what happens when all the best high school players start doing that? You're gonna start seeing colleges being like, all right, here's some money. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad,
a little
guys.
bit more than that free English class.
yeah, we've been making billions of dollars off of you off you kids. We apologize. Here's a little bit more money now.
College in general is just, I don't know, man. It's just college in general, not just sports, but college in general is so
it's gross,
scammy. Like it's, and you see all these commercials about as an adult, you can do better if you go to college, and they kind of tug on your heartstrings with like people with kids and all that. Yeah, college in general, I think is just,
Yeah, they just want you to get further in debt because they know if you're single with a few kids, you ain't going to nursing school. I mean, you can. That's the thing. People do.
Yeah.
But so many people get sold on that, and then they're another $100,000 in debt. It's just it's messed up, and especially when you're thinking of coming out of high school when you're still somewhat of a kid. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you want to do.
Yeah, and you're supposed to make some decision that's going to cost either yourself or mommy and daddy a crap load of money.
Yeah.
So,
Kevin, what you looking at over there?
What's that?
Kevin's drunk on that natty ice.
I'm drunk on the natty ice, man. Think, man, you guys are right. I mean, college ruins everything. As far as the sports thing, you got to. Was talking about Melo.
He's zoned out.
You have to be real mature for what you have to be real mature. The thing that he's done. I've only had 20.
Yeah, you have to be a real mature
player. You have to be a real mature player to do what he's doing, but you got to keep it in mind too. He's getting paid and developing the same way that everybody else is doing. His career is basketball. It's just one line. He knows he was going to play basketball.
Kevin,
if you're going to follow in that straight line and do that, a player that's unsure, go get your education too. Huh?
Yeah, but I think he's already rich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey,
what did he say?
Kevin looks like a sports announcer over there, man. Like Al Michaels. Like he's got to look. No, yeah. And he's like
that big old Mike,
like a drunk sports announcer.
I have not set up my stand yet, but I like this mic though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Makes it look official.
He has to say it makes you look official.
You should put like an ESPN logo on it. Confuse people.
It's brought to you by just whatever our sponsor of the week is, just put it on your mic.
Yeah.
This week it's Natty Ice.
That's right.
Strawberry.
Not only is it Natty Ice, it's fruity Natty Ice. Like
oh my gosh. It's like you want to puke up Fruit Loops. You just drink Strawberry Natty and Natty Ice.
It's like somebody just crushed up a Lucky Charms with a beer.
Man,
could you imagine? It's like chugging a beer and eating Fruity Pebbles at the same time.
Yeah,
that's good times right there.
I just like the fact he's drinking it with a Guinness shirt on.
I know.
Pick a side, bro.
Pick a team, bro. With Darth Vader in the background or whatever that is. What's that?
Hey! That's what I hear.
We don't have Jared on here. We gotta hate on you.
Look, the minute you picked up that Natty Ice, you should have thought to yourself, "Is this a good idea?"
Yeah. Where was a friend at to stop you from buying that? More or less, drinking and driving. Someone needs to be there for you.
You should have got at least 5 punches in your punch card.
Ruined my whole beer fridge. Like half of this stuff is in here. I gotta drink it, guys.
He brought that home, and she was just adding dots to that card. She was like, "What? How dare him?" Oh man. What else is going on? So Richard starts a new job, and he immediately just starts working from home. This dude's got it made. He's been playing
so
video
weird.
games. I mean,
So well, like Friday, I went to lunch, and my boss calls me, and he's like, "Man, I know you're at lunch, and I'm sorry to bother you, but I need to tell you something." I was like, "Oh man," and like you're like your first week at your job, and of course you're like, "Oh, they decided they couldn't, keep me on or something." You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially at lunchtime. And he's like,
yeah.
starting Monday, you're working from home until January. And my boss is like the nicest guy, and he's like, "Man, I'm really sorry, dude. Like, I know, you're just starting, and we're just throwing you at home, and blah blah." I was like, "Oh no, man, it's okay, it's okay,
It's okay. I got video games.
it's okay."
He's already completed
I'll get out.
Yeah.
I made it quick.
Yeah. He's literally seen everything on Netflix and has played every new video game.
That's right. Just in time for my PS5 and Xbox to come home.
Ooh,
It's all right.
boy, you living happy right now.
I am pretty happy.
Life is good for Rich.
That's right. Thanksgiving's next week.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, are you guys doing family, or what's up with the whole COVID thing?
Yeah. Well, my wife's parents, they watch my kids anyway, so we're gonna go over there. So it'll just be like us six, and we'll have a turkey and a ham and just kind of divvy up sides. But usually it's a whole family affair. But it's just gonna be 6 of us this year together.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Same thing with us. We usually have a house full over at, my mom and dad's, and my cousin Derek and his daughter was going to come in from Texas. And, so that our family that kind of lives a little bit, north in, Indy, they actually got COVID. So, they had been kind of dealing with it. So we just, decided this is like the first time in I don't know how many years though that we won't have Thanksgiving together. So it is kind of a bummer, especially with them losing their son this year, and they they actually so my Aunt Marcia just lost her dad to pneumonia. He just passed away, so it's just been the crappiest of years for my family.
It's been it has been, and really I'm really concerned about the holidays, because they talk about the holidays as being, the highest time of year for suicide because people get lonely, and it's just going to be worse. And it sucks because it's like, for us, it's like, man, we're at the home stretch. I feel like, they're talking about all these vaccines being 95% effective and blah, blah, blah. Let's just, we're just buckle down for like 2-3 more months and, we can go hog wild. But it's just, yeah, it's like, so what do you do? Like, I don't know. It's a really, well, I used to work at Blockbuster, and Blockbuster was notorious for being open every day of the year,
right,
for like until midnight. And and it's one of those things where you're like, why are we open on Christmas? And some guy came in once and basically said, he was kind of an older gentleman, said, he didn't have any family, and so that's why he came here every holiday to get movies and everything. And you kind of look at it from a different, perspective of, not everybody has what I have, so it's so unfortunate. And it's they're talking about the suicide rates are already pretty high. In terms of this whole thing, and
they're going up.
It just sucks. I mean, it's just. But what do you do? It's like people are gonna. I feel like people are gonna die one way or the other, right?
Yeah, that's how it feels. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like we've been saying since day one of this, it's just like when it's something so new. I mean, we've had situations similar, I guess, in the past, and we've reacted different ways or whatever, but. It's just we're all still guessing on this thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, every scientist is looking at it, and every doctor's looking at it, and every biologist is looking. Everyone is trying to figure out what the best scenario is or whatever. So it's just this. I kind of said this to my wife the other day. It's just like if they're going to do something, like if we're going to shut down or whatever, then like I'm almost at the point where it's just like. It is universally known for like a week or two, everyone just has to like literally everyone goes home. But you can't do that. Like I mean, you just can't, right? I mean, you just can't shut down every grocery store and restaurant. And I mean, just everybody would go insane, you know?
Yeah, it would go over bad if you did that. Like that would be.
I mean, there would have to be like a 100% guarantee.
Like we probably shut down for real.
You broke up. Say that again.
I stopped because you were like frozen and stuff was going in and out. I said, that's kind of what the problem was when this all started. Is like we thought that everything was just going to be shut down and gridlock, and so there was nothing. I think like a gradual shutdown is what I would look for, and I look at it like Richard. If it's a month or two, I got to stay in the house. I do anything. Hey, I'm already doing that. I don't know who's going to work. Like if you can tell me this vaccine will be pushed out in February, everything's all good. Hey, you can cancel Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm cool.
Yeah.
2 more months, and everything close to being back to normal. Sign me up. I mean, we've already done it for what, almost a year.
Yeah, late February, early March. It's almost been a year.
Yeah, but you still have been working. Like you still have been, going around.
I look at it different because my job's not affected.
That's
my
the
job
thing.
was affected. Yeah, it'd be totally different if I looked at it out of somebody else's shoes and my whole business changed, all that. I would look at it totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, if they've been doing stuff and adjusting to it already, it's still 2 months, right? It's only 2 months.
Well, with that, with that shutdown, they would have to guarantee money.
Yeah.
Because if not, everybody would literally, they would just go insane.
I feel like that's where the government really borked it earlier in the year, where they did give money out, but people that didn't need it got it. Like these giant corporations. Got millions and millions of dollars. They made some of them get it back. I think I read somewhere the Catholic Church got like $1 billion or something stupid.
What?
It's like,
dude, that's it.
First of all, you shouldn't be getting money because of separation of church and state. And it's just, then I don't know. It's just, I think if they would have done it right the first time, this wouldn't. If the real, because they say 70% of small businesses are restaurants, right? So, if they would have given the money to the right people, all these restaurants that are closing now because of that would probably be fine. I mean, can you imagine how many restaurants you could help with $1 billion?
Yeah, exactly. And you know how many of those small restaurants could like hugely benefit from like a $50,000 check or something, like, because most of these restaurants barely survive. I mean, they strictly do it because they love to cook, I guess, and serve people. Some of the smaller ones.
If they could just pay their employees, I'm sure that they'd be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can just tide their employees over for a little bit, and hey, business as usual in 2 months.
Yeah.
It's
just tough though, because you got to think about how many small businesses there are. I mean, just thinking just downtown or just Greenwood, wherever. Like, I mean, there's just small businesses everywhere. So it's just so hard to fork out that much money to so many different businesses, I guess.
Yeah.
But when there's some businesses out there that didn't need it, they're still going to survive regardless. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't get the money first.
Yeah.
It should be my barber,
but that's
or like masseuses and people like that. I mean, 99 employees that are going to, sacrifice for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
But couldn't you say that about us as individuals as well?
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? Like some of us, like my family, of course, we benefited from the money, but we weren't like, oh gosh, we both lost our jobs and this is right. Like it was a huge, we'll take it, but we didn't need it, right? Like, so, but if someone lost their job, that money should have went to them.
I mean, we might have caused more of a problem. Like some of these businesses that, people use that money to just buy frivolous stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the furniture business, we have people, working, and we're throwing money at them to push out a product that we don't even need. know,
Right. Yeah.
these businesses that needed it. Like we tried to go out, carry out like twice a week
Yeah.
to kind of do the local restaurants around here. But
Mhm.
I mean,
That's what we did.
other money just went up.
Yeah, just
Huh?
we just
Yeah.
did carry out and gave a really good tip. You know,
Right.
that's yeah.
It's really all you can do.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not like I have a whole bunch of money to throw around to pay people. But
Right,
but
exactly.
all the while, you see some companies like Amazon just booming. Like yesterday or
Oh.
the day before, they announced they now are selling prescription drugs. It's like, is there anything else you'd like to provide me? I mean, I mean,
a massage.
yo, well, yeah, maybe something a little more rated X. I don't. Geez, Amazon.
2 times in 2 episodes,
Hey,
back to back.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but they're saying that even if you use Amazon services for prescriptions, they're talking about how Amazon's probably going to undercut all of the other pharmacies. Where in their
Okay.
blurb they said that they're selling at 10 to 40% less than what you would normally get it, and they also went on to say you might even be able to get it less without insurance now. So it's just
So
what is going on?
Okay, so what do you think? So is this just a progression of the new way, or does this need to be stopped? Because if not, then it literally is going to put everybody out of business. And then you have Steve, whatever his name is, the owner of Amazon.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, he already makes so much money. I mean, he literally divorced his wife and made her the richest woman in the world.
Yep.
Because she got half. That's how rich he is.
About it like a couple weeks ago, where some of these companies are only allotted a percentage of a market, right, Richard? Because you were talking about like Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and Instagram and stuff like Amazon and stuff like they're allotted a percentage of the market, and other people have to have a part of the market so they don't have the stronghold on it, right?
Yeah, I mean that's monopoly, right?
Yeah.
I mean it's, I don't know. I don't know
But-
what happens with it. I mean you can't really stop it, right? I mean you can't tell
Right.
Amazon you can't do it. I mean
Yeah.
they obviously can because they are.
Yeah. It's like what makes it, like, how far does it go before it's considered a monopoly? You know what I'm saying? I mean, does everything have to close down?
Well, I mean I don't think it's technically a monopoly because they don't own all of it, right? You have to own all of one thing to have that thing be considered a monopoly, right? If you own a portion, a little portion of everything, technically you're still not a monopoly.
And what they're doing so good is that they don't even need employees. People sell it for them.
Yeah.
I know I've got a few friends that's strictly what they do is they sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
They find deals and they so Amazon's getting a cut of that, and and they just got people out delivering their packages. So it's kind of like my wife does Pampered Chef, and I always tease her. I'm like, man, you sell all this Pampered Chef stuff, and these people don't even know who you are. Like, it's such a beautiful business. Like, it's such, what I'm saying? Like, they just hire whoever the owner of Pampered Chef is, has no idea who my wife is, and she's probably sold them $20,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So it's an and I feel like Amazon's doing the same thing.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're in, I don't know, man. Like all the data warehouses, the prescription drugs. They're in video games now. They're in audiobooks. Hell, our podcast
Everything.
is on Amazon now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got movies on Amazon.
TV streaming service,
Yeah.
delivery
It's
service. I mean,
It's just crazy how it just pops up, right? Like, this is all in our lifetime, right? Like, this thing
It's moving so
just
fast.
popped up.
It's
Even Facebook and Twitter, like, that wasn't even a thing.
as of the mid 2000s. Facebook wasn't a thing, right? I mean,
I know. And now it's the most powerful way to communicate and interact and get your news. It's just, we talk about it every week, I feel like, but it really is just amazing how it's just it's just snowballing, man.
It all happened so fast, like the government couldn't react.
No, so did you guys check out the one podcast that I told you Rogan did about the video games and all that by chance?
I don't think so. I don't remember it.
It was pretty fascinating. It was basically about like kind of like artificial intelligence and just the AI aspect of things, and just how it's getting so real and so captivating and so addicting, which goes right along with kind of the phones thing. But the guy, he wrote a book and all that stuff, but he basically said what you're finding and what I'm afraid we're going to see is that people are literally just going to be so in tuned with their virtual world that we literally just basically eliminate. I mean, it sounds so crazy, but we basically can eliminate the human race because we become so captivated in this virtual world to where we just stay at home. And it's a little far-fetched, you know what I'm saying? But it's basically just that addiction of once again, the likes, the comments, the relationships you make, in the virtual world, So it's a really fascinating conversation, but
kind of goes off the book. Kevin, you may have seen the movie or read the book, Ready Player One.
Yeah.
So I was just about to say the book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like exactly when he's talking about that, that's what I'm thinking about. And you get to make your own character. And I mean,
yeah,
that's what you're living through.
Even the poorest of people have this, like in the book, in the movie. Like you literally, people living in a trailer have this virtual reality headset, and they wake up and they put it on, and then they do whatever they have to do. And a lot of people have jobs. You go to like a cantina and you go into like the virtual reality world to go to the cantina, and that's how they make their money. And like it's crazy.
It is. Real quick, the interview was with Adam Alter. So anyways, it was pretty fascinating.
That was the guy from The Social Experiment, right?
No, that was Tristan something.
Or Social Dilemma.
It's right here. Tristan Harris.
Okay.
Which that one I really recommend those two. I mean, just to kind of wrap your head around like the possibilities of what the future is. And I mean, we talked about, I think last podcast, or whenever it was, how much different, we're 20 years removed from high school. And you just, like I said, there was no Amazon, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook. So what's 2040? Like I said that to my daughter the other day. I go, when I say 2040, does that feel like so far away?
Be 60 years
and she
old.
goes, yeah. Yeah, I know. And she goes, yeah. And I go, hey, you'll only be 31. And she's like, I will, because she's 11. And she goes, I will. I was like, yeah, that's only 20 years.
You'll still be younger than I am now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's, but it feels like, when you say 2040, it does. It just feels like it's, so far away. It's just testament to how quick things,
It just keeps getting faster and faster, man. Faster and faster.
Yep.
Do you have something you want to say, Kevin? Sorry.
No.
And as far as like the video game thing, I mean, I feel like we're close to that now. Like to watch the progression of what we started off playing, now it's just like it's real. It's real life. Like it is real life. And like the Ready Player One stuff, like we are close to that. You can make your alter ego. You can be these different characters. There's people that do that every day. That's their alter ego. They're just totally different character. They're probably, the shit in this video game, and then they're just Bob on their own life. You know what I'm saying? So people are really living that life.
Yeah. One of the fascinating things about that podcast with Alter, I think his name was, he said that he got on a plane and he was like writing a book about, like, he's doing all this research about addictiveness to video games and cell phones and all that. And a guy had made this game. I can't remember. It was something to do with a bird.
Flappy Bird.
And he said, "Oh, so you heard about it, Flappy Bird?"
Oh, it was very popular. Yeah, it was like one of the first Android games. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he said that he played it 6 hours in a row, and he could not believe it. Like he didn't even know it. Like it was literally 6 hours later. He gets off the plane. And he's just like, how did this just take my life? And I guess they made it. I guess the person that made the game like refused to sell it because
deleted
because he knew how addictive it was.
Yep, he deleted
And
it
I guess
from the store.
yeah. Yeah, and then on that podcast they were talking about how you can buy phones with that game on it, and they're like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I mean, it's just like you guys always try to encourage me to buy game console, and I think that's part of it. It's just like I don't want to get I don't want to get sucked into it, man, because I'll love it too much probably.
Dude, the new 2K games are insane. Like just the way they look and the way they play and like the announcing is just they have gone so far. It's nuts. It's really nuts.
I need it. Ella's been kind of talking about wanting to play some type of game. So if she wants one bad enough, we'll get one, and then I'll just play it whenever I can.
Yeah.
So have you ever played the game Quake?
Yeah, that's an old game.
Okay, that's the game that Rogan said he had like a room built for it, and got like way too addicted to it. Like he said that's when he realized that video games can be no different than gambling or drugs, alcohol, or whatever. Like it was like he was like out 6 to 8 hours, and my adrenaline was going, and I was working out, and I would like Rogan's like that. He kind of he goes extreme in everything, but yeah, it's a real thing.
I agree. Yeah, I do agree. It's like I will go like I will go with like a new game I really like. I will go 4 to 6 hours. In a day, just playing the game. Granted, it's not constant. It's like maybe 2-3 times a year. I'll have like a gaming session that. But yeah, there are people that have that problem. I mean, I think Kevin would agree, and it's easy to get.
It's easy to get, and like sometimes like one of those things that I like to relieve stress, but it's one of those things that like boost up my concentration too. So, but like, there's times where I'm like so into a game, I'll beat it, and then I won't play video games for like 2 months.
Yeah,
because I put all this, like I feel like I put all this into it, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna pick up a game for a while. Yeah. Like I've literally done that. Crazy.
But isn't it because you accomplished something though? Like once you beat that level, or
I like to get that competitive edge, like, and just beat something. Then just go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to, and then just go. Like or something.
I get it.
That you like get mentally exhausted, and you're just like, man, I'm not doing this for a little bit. Like I've done that before. Like I'm not doing this.
See, I think that's like I get that just with sports, like playing volleyball or whatever on Sundays. Like it's just, I mean, I literally leave there on cloud 9 just because it's just like. It just feels so good to get out there and be competitive. And, I play in a league where everyone's pretty cool with each other. So it's like, it's so much fun, but yeah, I gotta have that release, man. As long as I can still do it.
Absolutely.
Getting old.
Now, do you guys talk trash and all that? That's the dude
No.
where the dude spiked you, right?
Yeah, spiked you right in the head. Gave you a concussion.
Yeah. I had a couple good spikes last week. I haven't seen him. His team hasn't played in a little bit, but he's probably playing college football somewhere. Freak coming in gyms, picking on us upper 30-year-old dudes, almost 40-year-old dudes. I don't need that in my life right now. What's funny is at work, my old boss, he has a whiteboard and it has written on there, if my face wasn't there, it would have went out of bounds. Because I had told them about me getting spiked in the face, and that's what I said. Yeah, if my face wasn't there, it would have went out of bounds. So yeah, dude, I don't know if I've ever been hit that hard. You got me good. There's a few guys that, man, like I'm waiting to leave there with just fingers that are just broken, man. They hit the ball so hard, but so anyways, it's fun, man. So have you ever felt like video games, like, not an addiction, so to speak, but have you seen, has there been times where you're like, man, this is kind of like a problem. Like this is Like, is your wife cool with it? Like, did they ever yell at you, get off the video? You know, like your mom used to have to, or
No,
my
no,
wife
no.
plays with me.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my wife is concerned, like as long as things are done around the house and bills are paid, I can pretty much play as much as I want. Now, of course, you have to spend some time with your wife. You can't just sit there and play video games all the time. But I think as long as normalcy occurs in the household,
yeah, I got you.
it doesn't.
It's
really
the
matter.
hobby. It's
It is what it is, and
yeah.
there will be times I play more than others. Like this past couple weeks where you've gotten the new systems, and times like that, she'll encourage it. She'll, play your new system.
yeah, it's your fun.
have fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing through
Yeah.
the new Spider-Man game, and she actually really likes watching it. Like she's basically watched me play it from the beginning to end. It looks that good.
Huh?
So
That's
it's,
crazy.
I saw the commercial for that. I was like, oh my god, that looks good.
It looks very good. Like I've never played anything that good looking before. It's good.
Well, and the crazy thing is that there's so many people out there that enjoy watching it.
Yeah, they'll just sit there
Like
and they'll watch
watching,
it.
yeah, and in all reality, I mean, in a way, it's people say how stupid is it you're watching other people play video games. It's like, well, you're watching other people play basketball or football,
Yeah.
or right. I mean, they're not being controlled,
You
So
know
it's,
what my son
I guess in a
does?
way, it's
My son will watch video games like it's game tape. Like he'll watch a dude play a video game, get tips and tricks from him, flip on his game, and
Yeah.
then kind of do
Yeah.
kind of the same thing. Like he'll watch these pros
Yeah.
play, and then he'll go on, and then he'll do what they do, like in Rocket League or whatever. That's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you can use it as game tape, I guess, if you want.
yeah.
Yeah. Watch a
See-
walkthrough or watch a walkthrough, even just figure stuff out for yourself. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
how do I get
See-
over this part? It's everywhere.
See how much easier these kids have it. We had to find the princess with Mario on our own.
Yeah,
These dudes could just look it up on YouTube and be like, "Oh, I go left instead of right." Duh.
There was a phone number you could call, but yeah, you're right. Unless you have that Nintendo
Hey,
Power
right,
Book.
man. Yeah, could you imagine? I can't find this stupid princess. Help me out.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that phone number existed until I watched that documentary, Kevin, where it was the history of video games on Netflix.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And they talked about like Nintendo had like a call center you could call if you got stuck, and like basically, I think you had to go through
Could
like
you
a
imagine
month.
being the dude on the other end?
You had to go through like a month of training or something, and then they still would hand you like a giant book of tips and tricks. And so when you got the call, if you didn't know, you could flip through the book or whatever. Like it looked like it was insane. It did not look like a fun job.
Dude,
And
that
you
sucks.
probably come through the book. Okay, what game you playing? Where
Right.
you at?
Yep.
Do you imagine being the person that has to answer that phone, though? I mean, I guess if you really love video games, it's probably fun because you're helping, you're
Easy
Yeah.
job.
interacting with people,
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, it's what people probably do now. You're gaming with people, and you're my cousins play, and they've got friends that they've met up with, through gaming and stuff. So I mean, I get the community of it, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if I have the time. That's what it always comes down to for me, right?
You have the time
Do
to
what?
fish. You got to
If
pick
you
up a game, man.
You got the time to fish. You
I
got
barely
the
have time to fish. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah.
So,
Whew.
anything happening in the draft? I mean, I just feel like this whole NBA free agent thing is just really been
Hey.
boring. Like I turned on ESPN the other day when the free agency started, and I was like, all right, do something, and just nothing seemed to really happen.
Like
Well,
poking at it with his
I
thumb.
but they may have. I feel like it's just been so rushed where they probably don't even have. Like they just announced when the season's going to start. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like there's a
Yeah.
trade deadline and all that.
I think ESPN just overhyped.
so
stuff.
that
because they were like talking about how
they're
like
desperate.
they're talking about how like trades were flying behind the scenes and deals were being made behind the scenes. So watch out, come free agent day.
I'm sure
because,
there is.
You know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and then
Well,
nothing
free agency
happened.
technically started. Free agency starts Friday. Players were made available to trade Monday. The draft is today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see.
Free agency
So these
technically doesn't start until Friday.
Okay.
So these next few days might show us some stuff. I just really want it. Like I kind of like the idea of like James going to the Nets just to kind of see that trio work.
Yeah.
But I also like I really want the league to be spread out. Like this year's playoffs was a lot of fun. You know, like I mean, it was some really good battles. I there's part of me that thinks it's fun and cool to kind of see these guys pick their shots and, you know, call their shots and go play with whoever because they, you know, they admire their game or, you know, it fits their style of ball or whatever. But I don't know. I still want it to be competitive. I want, you know, all these teams to have a chance and not just 3 teams be so, you know, loaded with players.
I think Harden really doesn't owe the Rockets anything. Like he gave him. It's hard to believe to me now that he's been there 8 years, dude. Been there 8 years.
The thing is, though, is the
Harden
Rockets,
has a pass.
The Rockets tried. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like the Rockets didn't do anything. Like, they tried with him. They gave him, you know, he had Howard, which, okay, that was a bust. He had Howard. He had CP3. He had Russell Westbrook. Like, they gave him people to play with. It's not like they just sat on their hands and was like, okay, Harden, go win us a championship. Like, they tried to give him a few good players and some utility players, and it just didn't work out. And, and really, it was who knew Golden State was going to come on like they did? Like that was insane. That 4 or 5 year run they had, you know. And then who knew Kevin Durant would join them? You know, that came kind of out of nowhere. But
if you're Harden, I mean, there's got to be a part of you that just says, okay, man, like I've given it 8 years. We've tried new coaches, new systems. And look, Harden has given his soul to them. I feel like he's tried new players. I mean, there's got to come a point where you just go, okay, if I want to get this championship, I'm going to have to make a move. No different than any of us, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to make this raise, I got to do something, you know? So
I love you.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's why I've never had a problem with Paul George, because I felt like he gave us an opportunity. He tried. Yeah, I mean,
I have no problem with
him. He gave us some years.
The Pacers just suck.
Yeah.
In
your face, Jared.
Yeah. Any chance I get, buddy. I think. Well, and then ESPN was.
Dude, that candle he found was hilarious.
That was funny. I liked it.
That was really funny, especially since it said bananas on it.
ESPN said Harden told the Rockets that he wanted to go to Brooklyn just for a year or two, win a championship, and then go back to Houston.
I heard that when I watched ESPN earlier today.
I wouldn't be so certain.
I mean, that's what the Rockets are reporting. He said. So I don't.
But see, okay, but if you're Houston, like if I'm the owner of a team, and if you guys are I'm the owner and you're on my team, and one of you says that you want out, all right, dude, you're out, and I'm going to get a bunch of players for you, because if not, then you're just going to leave me, and I'm not getting any players for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if I'm Houston,
because he's still under contract, he still has 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They still got some traction. The thing that's kind of screwing them is like, hey, I only want to go to these 2 teams. He's not making it easy for them. And you got to look at it, like, see it from Houston's side, right? Hey, the reason it's not working because that's what players to pick. We picked the players that you wanted us to get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem. You're not taking the pay cut. You're not, helping us do that. They're willing to pay him $103 million over 2 years, dude.
First $50 million a year player.
Yes.
Like who?
Meanwhile,
dude, I'd be like, I don't even care about the championship.
Meanwhile, you have firefighters in California getting paid $40,000 a year.
Well, hey, They should have been able to put a basketball in a hoop. I mean, they're the one that chose the occupation. I agree. They need to get paid
That's
more.
ridiculous.
But
Oh my god.
do what?
Our society is
What'd you
so
say?
messed up.
I know. Well, I mean, it's always been that saying, police officers, teachers, and firemen, they get paid, crap money, and all these athletes and celebrities get paid millions,
Mhm.
But look, I mean, I've always defended the athlete when it comes to that, because you are a very select few in this world, and you got to be super talented in a specific, even though it's a playground game, recess game, whatever you want to call it, you still have to be super good at it, and it takes dedication,
Oh,
and it takes hard work, and
I don't fault the athlete at all. Like, get what money you
Yeah.
can. It's society allows it, so go ahead.
Yeah, and if they're getting, is what I always say, if they're getting paid that much, then how much are those above them getting paid?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really just somebody else using these employees to make them more money. I mean, it's what we're all a part of. It's everyone that has an employer. That's what we're a part of.
Yeah.
Or employee, I should. Oh yeah, employer. I said it right.
It's true.
So, man, I wish I was tall and could be a baller. Dude, that'd be the
Like,
life.
too short.
What's up with the dollar?
Dude, I was singing that song to my daughters the other day. They're like, "What are you singing?" I was like, "I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a 6-foot taller." They looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, I used to sing that song all the time. You kidding me?
Good.
You guys got those Christmas trees up yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just waiting on the wife. I don't make those decisions. She doesn't have the spirit this year. That's what she keeps saying. She's like, I just don't have the Christmas spirit this year.
Hey,
It's been a bummer.
it'd be awesome because I don't want to put the tree up anyway. So it's
Dude, I
like,
feel
hey, we're taking Christmas
I feel you.
off. No tree.
No tree,
Yeah.
no presents.
Do you get any? Do you get time off work, Kevin, for Thanksgiving?
I got to work. This is the first year that we're working Thanksgiving. I actually took this week off. I was prepared for that, and we're supposed to have like a little Thanksgiving, just a dinner with the in-laws Saturday, but that might get canceled too, depending on the weather. But yeah, normally we would get Thanksgiving Day off. Now we don't. Yeah, I'm working 6 days a week, starting next week. Christmas, basically.
Dang,
I'll be
this
there
is
probably
your
about,
time.
about 60 hours a week. Hey, can't complain about it. There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, might as well work.
I'll watch football on Sundays. Work early
Yeah.
enough to work. When I put in 10 hours, I still get off like at 4 o'clock. So is what
That's
it is.
what's up. I ain't mad at that. And you get overtime.
Oh yeah. This is I'm about to.
That,
I'm about
I
to
ain't mad at, yeah, shoveling that.
Yeah.
Rake that in.
Now maybe
Get
you
them
get
Christmas
something,
gifts.
something a little bit more better than Natty Ice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for real, bro. Step your game up. He comes out with Bud Light.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the fridge.
he comes out with Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get the Miller Highlight.
That's what my boy at my old job. That's the only thing he drank was Miller High Life. He swore by it.
What's your go-to beer just to have in the refrigerator?
Probably Corona. I've been drinking this Taxman Gold Standard. I don't know what it is. Yeah, Taxman Gold Standard is what it's called, I think. Yeah. Anyways, it's good. It's pretty good stuff. So yeah.
What about you?
Typically, I'm Leinenkugel, or
That's
Monkey
pretty good.
Shoulder for whiskey.
Yeah.
What kind of
You guys-
whiskey?
Monkey Shoulder.
I haven't had that one. I do Buffalo Trace if I ever do whiskey. I don't drink that much though. It never makes me drinking never makes me like feel good. It's just a beverage. Like I like to have one when I'm grilling or you know what I'm saying, like or like fight nights, hanging out with the guys or whatever. You have a couple, but
I typically I'll drink a
usually
shot.
I'm like, okay, that
yeah.
a shot.
Yeah, you get a shot of whiskey.
It just
in
makes
me.
me tired.
Yeah, it's typically what it is. Like 9:30, I'll throw a shot down. Play a game or read a book or something.
Yeah.
Call it a night.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
That whiskey and
Yep.
get that night.
That's right.
I remember starting out drinking, and we used to drink natural ice and drink Mad Dog 2020. Those are bad days right there, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm about to say something bad. You better hit that music.
Richard said, "Cut."
Let me guess. She has some Colt 45s too.
You're so racist.
I gotta get one semi-racist comment in.